Welcome to the show. Welcome to Your Thought Life podcast. I am your host, Michael Anderson. Today we're going to be looking at 2025 relationship goals. And I know right out of the gates, when you hear relationship goals, we often begin immediately thinking about picture perfect couples on social media and friendships that just seem to be effortless, and there's all of this, hunky-doriness to what we're going to be discussing. But I would share with you that this is going to be real because true relationships and true relationships goals are more about connection and being honest and contrite than the intentional efforts that we often see people put together in social settings. Today we get to explore how we can be better in relationships, but not perfect, just better. And we're going to talk about being honest about our needs and accepting others just the way they are, and the importance of cherishing each of the moments that we're able to share with others. So we're going to dive right in. I want to sort of create three different layers to this. The first layer being honest about what you need. I'm not just talking about being honest with people in your life. I'm also talking about being honest with yourself, because here's the hard truth. You can't have a healthy relationship if you're not clear about where you are and what you need. Relationships, for the most part, thrive and do incredibly well when they're balanced, when we give and receive in equal proportion or equal measure. But all too often, we expect people to meet our needs without ever expressing them. How in the world can we get what we need without voicing that which we need? I mean, it sounds so simple, but you would be surprised how many people are dealing with this, even right now as it's hitting the airwaves. So think about this. When was the last time you checked in with yourself? When was the last time you were in a season of growth, healing, or maybe even burnout, and you had such a connectedness that you were able to see that and share with others precisely what you needed, how you could be helped, how you could be served to undo these circumstances? These are the types of questions, these are the types of inquiries we need to make deep down with introspection, that we can get truly the things that we need. We said that this section was really about being honest about our needs. That also suggests that there's no pushing down, there's no stuffing of these needs. They must come forward in the fullness of measure, that we can take the necessary steps to undo whatever it is that's holding us back. I feel like I should provide you with an example. If you're feeling overwhelmed at work, it's okay to say to your partner, to your close friend, your confidant, hey, I don't have the emotional energy to talk about heavy topics right now. Can we focus on something light, something uplifting? This isn't you being selfish. It's you expressing how you actually feel and getting real clear on what you need in that moment to recharge, refresh, and get prepared for the next day. And I believe this is a fantastic way for you to strengthen your relationships. And being honest about your needs doesn't just help you. This clear communication also helps other people, because now you're showing up in a way that actually matters. They're able to see your authenticity, and that goes a long way for helping to establish a rock-solid foundation. No one can read our minds. We have to say what it is that we need. And when we assume that they can, we set ourselves up and the relationship up for frustration, letdown, and the like. Let's go to the next pillar or the next chapter. This has to do with accepting others for who they are. Acceptance is a big one. This is a particular area that I spent an awful lot of time exiting the armed services and entering into civilian world that I really needed to hone this skill. It took, again, a fair amount of coaching and adjusting for me to get to where I am today, where I can do this without really having to think about it. One of the most common relationship pitfalls is trying to change the people that we care about. And maybe you've caught yourself thinking, gosh, if only they were more ambitious, or I wish they handled things the way I do. These are some pretty significant and common pitfalls slash traps. We have to be careful because when we love someone, it's not a good look. It's not a good feel when we start to harbor these types of thoughts and feelings. Over the long term, they can have a very detrimental impact on the relationship. But here's the thing. People don't want to be fixed, first off. They want to be seen. They want to be loved. Talking higher needs. True acceptance means embracing someone for who they are, not who you think they should be. And it's about saying, I love you as you are, quirks and all. What you'll find is that we could radically change the divorce rates across the entire globe if we could do this one thing. And what I'm telling you is if you have relationships that are important to you, you have to consider this. You have to wrestle with this, and you have to get the support you need. If I can help you, do let me know. It doesn't mean, however, that you have to tolerate toxic behavior or lower your standards. It doesn't mean that. Boundaries are still essential, but it does mean that recognizing that everyone is on their own journey, and sometimes growth looks different from person to person, especially those that we're in relationship with. Think of it this way. When you are focused on someone else's strengths instead of their flaws, you create a safe place for them to thrive, and you create an open dialogue where you can begin to participate in their life in a way that you have not before. When they feel accepted, you're far more likely, or when we're, even us, when we feel accepted, we will open up and we will share out of the depths of our being. But again, it has to be a safe place. If you're a male listening to this podcast, it is your responsibility to create this space. If this is difficult for you, again, remember, all the things that we talk about here require practice. We're giving you a blueprint. We're giving you a set of instructions that are known good, that are backed by science that you can use, but you got to practice until you get good at it. One practical tip before we move on to the third pillar. The next time you feel frustrated with someone, take a moment and ask yourself, is this about them or this about my expectations? That is a very fair question that will cut through all of the noise ASAP. If you find that it's about you, you're going to have to let go immediately. The third pillar is really centered on enjoying the moment. We are so busy, our lives are just filled with so much stuff that we seldom will just stop, slow down, and appreciate everything that is before us. Life moves so quickly, and it's easy for us to get caught up in work and errands and to-do lists and goals and dreams. And at the end of the day, what really matters is the time that we spend with people we love. Those memories go on and live in such a way as we age that make us feel incredibly awesome. This is where we need to spend the lion's share of our time, being present, being in the moment, and loving on those that we care about. I don't feel like it would be right if I didn't give you a reality check. No relationship is guaranteed, whether it's due to distance, life change, or the unpredictable nature of time. We don't always know how long we're going to have with someone. And that's why it's so important for us to be present each and every day that we have to share with that person, with that individual, with that special person. Being present doesn't suggest that you need grand gestures and elaborate plans. No, sometimes it's the simple and most practical things, as putting down your phone during dinner and sharing a laugh of something you thought about during the day that you shared together or did together, then sitting quietly together without distractions. You don't even have to talk, just maybe hold hands and enjoy a program, after you've done all of your chores and such for the evening. It's those types of things that really make a difference and create lasting memories that are treasures once you begin to mature into that second phase of life. One of my most favorite quotes is, "The best gift you can give someone is your time." And think about that for just a second. Your undivided attention is the way of saying, "You matter to me. You are important to me, so much so that I am yielding all of these other things to be present in this moment." The astute person out there is saying, "Man, what can I do to get started on this?" That's a great question. Make a list of 3 people you care about deeply. Then think of the one small way that you can connect with each of them this coming week. And maybe it's a quick phone call, maybe it's a Starbucks coffee break together, or even just sending them a text message to let them know that you're thinking about them. And once you've done that, consistently do that until you've seen that relationship turn. You will be utterly blown away with the response that you're going to get and the gratitude and appreciation that's going to come across in reciprocate form. I trust that this was helpful for you. I certainly enjoyed sharing it with you. Building better relationships starts with being honest. Honesty is our best policy, being real about your own needs and where you're at in life. And from there, you move swiftly into acceptance, loving people for who they are, not what you want them to be. And then finally, let's be present. Let's make the most of the time that we have available each day with those that we love and care about. Thank you so much for joining me today for today's episode. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. You can connect with us on Linktree. The link is available in the show notes. You are enough. You can do it. You are uniquely equipped to realize your goals. Until next time, take care and be safe.